Headlines. Hoodlums set ablaze INEC office in Imo, abduct construction workers. Governors fault federal government over poverty index claim, say minister got it all wrong. Federal government pledges to reduce Nigeria's reliance on borrowing. And on the international scene, Tunisia's powerful labor union rejects December election, attacks president agenda. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. And now the news in detail. The Independent National Electoral Commission office in Orlu local government area of Imo State has been set ablaze by unknown arsonists. The arsonists attacked the building undergoing renovation on Thursday. INEC's resident electoral commissioner for Imo State, Sylvia Agu, confirmed the attack in a statement issued by the National Commissioner, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye. Okoye, who said some of those working on the site were kidnapped but later released, also disclosed that the timely intervention of the police deployed to the site reduced the damage. INEC expressed worry over the recent attacks on its facilities across the country ahead of the 2023 general elections, saying that such attacks have negative consequences on its preparations for 2023. The governors of the 36 states of the Federation have said they are surprised at the accusations leveled against them by the Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Agba, over Nigeria's poverty index. The federal government, through the National Bureau of Statistics in November, said 130 million Nigerians are poor, representing 63% of the nation's population. The minister had, after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday, told journalists that the federal government's social investment plan had not impacted optimally because of lack of cooperation from the state governors. According to Agba, the governors concentrate on executing bogus projects rather than improving lives in the rural areas. But reacting in a statement signed by the Director of Media and Public Affairs, Nigeria Governors Forum Secretariat, Abdulrazak Bello Barkindo, the governors described the minister's comments as unnecessary and diversionary, saying they represent a brazen descent into selective amnesia. According to them, the assertion by the minister that the rural populace had been abandoned by governors is not only preposterous and without any empirical basis, but also very far from the truth. Away from that story, the All Progressives Congress and Northern Christian leaders, led by immediate past Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Yakubu Dogara, and former Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Babachir Lawal, has adopted the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, as its candidate of choice ahead of the 2023 presidential election. The group of aggrieved APC members had openly rejected their party's same-faith ticket, which saw the emergence of Bola Tinubu as its presidential candidate and Kashim Shettima as his vice, both of whom are of the Muslim faith. Sagir Ibrahim reports.
According to the report presented by the Northern Leaders Technical Criteria Committee, it had become important to select a candidate and a party whose ticket showed experience, balance and inclusion. Hence their decision to go with the PDP and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar.
After a careful evaluation of all issues highlighted above, we hereby recommend for the adoption of the PDP to all lovers of democracy in Nigeria for the 2023 presidential election.
There were 4 parties that were considered. The PDP presidential candidate is a well-known talent hunter who has demonstrated capacity to hunt highly experienced talents across different sectors and bring them into government.
The leaders added that the country had had enough of challenges as it is and would not support any party or candidate who disregards the current realities. And this is why they have rejected the APC ticket.
The APC, as we all know, has fielded the same fate, Muslim ticket. And the forum hereby calls on all lovers of democracy, peaceful coexistence, unity, and religious harmony to reject the ticket in its entirety.
The truth is that if good people like you and I do not rise up to stop them, they will truly succeed in destroying this nation that we cherish so much. So we have an obligation to rise against those dangerous voices of hate and stereotype. And not just to rise against them, but to quieten them.
We will no longer allow politicians to divide us in order to achieve what they want to achieve for their own interests.
Some other notable members of the Northern Leaders Consultative Forum include former Deputy Governor of Sokoto State, Muktari Shagari, former Governor of Kogi State and Deputy Governor Idris Wada and Simon Achuba, former Minority Leader Umara Kumalia, among others. Sagir Ibrahim, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Candidates of various political parties participating in the 2023 governorship election in Oyo State have signed a peace pact towards a violence-free 2023 elections. The ceremony was held at the police headquarters in Eleyele, Oyo State Command in Ibadan. Present at the ceremony was the incumbent governor, Seyi Makinde of the People's Democratic Party, Bayo Adelabu of Accord Party, Popoola Josiah as of New Nigerian People's Party. But the All Progressives Congress candidate, Teslim Folarin, was represented by his deputy governor or governorship candidate, Okunlola Oluwafemi. The event was chaired by the chairman, Peace Accord Committee, and former governor of the state, Rashid Ladoja, and hosted by the Commissioner of Police in the state, Adebowale Williams.
Guides designed in order of recognition and undertaking to keep peace and good conduct among political actors and their supporters before, during, and after the 2023 general election.
Engineer Seyi Makinde, other candidates, all of them are all there. Bayo Adelabu is there, Akim is there, POJ is there. I'm sorry, I'm already an old man. After all of you are Omadu Abis. We know what Omadu Abis will do, and we know what Omadu Abis cannot do. We are all Omadu Abis. And in fact, after the elections, we will still be friends.
I wasn't given any special treatment as the sitting governor of Oyo State. That is democracy at home. That is what we would like to see. And that is a wake-up call for all of us occupying, certain positions right now, that our bosses are the people.
It's a first of its kind in the entire 36 states. After the National Peace Accord signed in Abuja, and as a peace-setter state, I'm not surprised that Oyo State is the first to take this giant step. It means that all political aspirants now, all candidates of all parties are aware and are conscious of the fact that they have the responsibility to ensure a itch-free, peaceful political electioneering campaign.
The Independent National Electoral Commission on Saturday tendered the original copy of the secondary school certificate of Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke at the Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Osogbo, the state capital. The All Progressives Congress and its candidate in the July 16 governorship election in the state, Adeboyega Oyetola, are challenging the result of the election before the Justice Tessa Kume's three-man election tribunal. The petitioners, through their counsel, Lateef Fagbemi, demanded the original copy of Adeleke's certificate, and the court mandated INEC to produce it. Counsel to INEC, Henry Akunegbu, tendered the original copy of the certificate to the court on Saturday, and it was admitted as an exhibit. Thereafter, the petitioners closed their case, and the tribunal adjourned till December 20 for the first, second, and third respondents, which are INEC, Adeleke, and the People's Democratic Party, to open their defense. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break. High praise for paternity leave. Do stay with us.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secured are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Or really, if you look at England squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. We told you that hoodlums set ablaze INEC office in Imo, abduct construction workers. We also told you that governors fault federal government over poverty index claim, same minister got it all wrong. Moving to other stories, the federal government has expressed its plan to bring investment to different sectors of the economy to reduce Nigeria's reliance on debt. The Executive Secretary, Nigeria Investment Promotion Commission, Sadatu Umar, stated this while speaking to State House correspondents after a closed-door meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. The NIPC boss said the commission believed that once it was able to bring an investment to different sectors of the economy, the burden of debt will decline. She said the president, who supported the drive to strengthen the investment of Nigeria, also expressed his willingness to do the best he can to ensure the country's investment drive was given a lot of traction. The executive secretary said it would be able to generate more foreign exchange once NIPC had been able to facilitate exports.
As we do know, insecurity, of course, would kind of be of concern to any investor. But it's not really the major reason why investors would stay away. Of course, there are certain parts of Nigeria that are not really undergoing this issue. And for those ones that are not having the issue, we're trying to ensure we get investment to those sectors. And for those of them that are having the issue, we're trying to work doubly hard to see what's possible to still do within the situation we find ourselves. So the major takeaways is supporting the drive to strengthen the investment drive of Nigeria. And he's willing, within the time he's still here as president of Nigeria, to do the best he can to ensure the country's investment drive is given a lot of traction. So I'm very encouraged and I've been giving a lot of energy now to continue what we're doing at the Commission that would help the investment promotion drive of Nigeria.
The federal government recently approved a 14 working day paternity leave for civil servants at the federal tier of government. With the approval, fathers are now permitted to take off 2 weeks to celebrate the arrival of a new baby. Some Makurdi residents who spoke to our correspondent, Jimmy Azande, reacted to the move. The report.
Like every other policy, this one too has generated different reactions across the gender divide. To some, it is a welcome development that should be replicated across the states and the FCT.
It's not just the women alone that get stressed during this period, transition from pregnancy to childbirth, the early infant stage, getting to when the child begins to work. And to walk rather, it's a tough time for both parents. The mother needs, most times you find out that the child keeps the mother awake almost through the night. Many of them, babies are just funny. They just have a way of just staying awake through the night and falling asleep at the early hours of the day.
Going forward, the men, I'm sure they are also excited. Having to stay with their wife after delivery and caring for the child. And also, most of the times you get to, receive a lot of visitors who come to congratulate you and see the baby mother and the child. So the men, I'm sure they'll be excited to also support their wife within this period.
The man should be around to nurse this child, and at the end of it, it will give them that relationship, closer relationship with the child that is being nursed. Most of these men, they go out in the morning before they come back this evening. So most of the time, this child doesn't get to know them well from their childhood, to get to some level before they come to know what is my father, what is my father like, what does he want, what does he not want. That relationship is not as close as it should be. But with this thing in place now, it will foster the relationship of the father and the child.
What the federal government have said is not too bad. I believe if the paternity leave is to assist your wife as well, to be taking care of your junior ones. So the idea is not that bad.
But there are also naysayers to the law. These ones feel there is no need. They say it is wrong for both the husband and wife to embark on leave, especially if both are civil servants.
For me, I look at it as not being fair. I see no need that men should go on maternity leave just like the women. Because sometimes when men proceed on maternity leave, majority of them are it will be them that will be in the offices. And if men proceed to maternity leave just like the women, I think it's not fair on my side. I'm a man, but I didn't welcome the idea.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, in a circular, explained that the leave shall not be more than once in 2 years and shall be for a maximum of 4 children.
Moving on to business, the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have described as unacceptable the lingering scarcity of petrol across the country and the unapproved price hike above 240 naira a litre in the country. They urge the government to find an immediate solution to the shortage before things get out of hand. In a joint statement by the NLC and the TUC, the organized labor said no excuse was good enough for the shortage because no private individual or company was importing a litre of PMS into this country. They argued that all products are imported by the government, adding that there is no record that the agency or government that is importing the products had added a kobo to the price it sells to the marketers. In the statement, the president of NLC and TUC, Ayuba Wabba, and Festus Oshifo said they are reliably informed that the shortage is deliberately fostered by players in the downstream sector in order to hike the price far above the government-approved threshold. Similarly, chairman of the Ibadan Depot of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Bukola Mutiu, has blamed the scarcity of petrol products on payment glitches associated with the procurement of fuel. He said this during a consultative meeting with labor leaders where they resolved that the government should urgently intervene. Samson Adeshumbo sent in this report as presented from our studios.
The past few days have been most hectic for motorists and commuters across the country, who have had to once again have to bear the brunt of the scarcity of petroleum products. Worse hit are the masses, who have had to spend man-hours at the fuel dispensing stations and are unable to access the product. Despite Nigerians' enormous deposit of crude and other natural resources, the citizens are daily confronted with recurring scarcity of petroleum products. They are asking the federal government to be more proactive.
They sell for a high price. They sell for 280, 260, even 300. So it has really affected us. In fact, all our passengers, the way we don't carry the normal price again. And they complain a lot.
Man, it's hell now. Like yesterday, I bought 280. So I was going to office this morning. I've not even got to the office now at 11. I was supposed to resume by 8 o'clock. I got here around 7:30 to 8, and I'm still here by 11.
The one I bought from Abeokuta is 280 per liter. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we heading to? What causes the sudden problem? The sudden increase. I've been buying fuel now. It's like the fuel is even dry. Apart from dry, today 260, today 280. What is government doing about it?
The consultative meeting between independent marketers and labor leaders in Ibadan is a strategic attempt at finding a lasting solution to the lingering crisis. The independent marketers and labor leaders resolved that government should be more sensitive to the yearnings of the masses, who are mainly at the receiving end of the hardship. They want more functional refineries and increased investment in the downstream sector.
Having shortage of supply because we have been denying of having direct payment to NNPC, remitter, portal that we normally requested and pay. For over 6 months now, none of the existing marketing companies that duly license with NNPC have been given any authority to pay.
I want to advise the federal government and tell them vehemently that whatever measure they have employed as regards to the restructuring happening in NNPC is not having human face. It's not having human face in the sense that it has added to the suffering on the masses. It's not helping anybody.
The call by Ipman and the NLC in Oyo State clearly show that the real truth behind the scarcity of petroleum product is still not clear.
The news resumes after this short break.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
And on the foreign scene, Tunisia's powerful labor union attacked the president's political and economic agenda on Saturday, including elections this month, saying it will no longer accept what it called a threat to democracy in its clearest challenge to him yet. The UGTT union says it has more than 1 million members and has proven able to paralyze the economy with strikes. It has at times backed President Kais Saied after he seized most powers last year, but on other occasions has voiced tepid opposition. Saied shut down the elected parliament last year and moved to rule by decree before writing a new constitution that was passed this summer in a referendum with low turnout, setting up elections for a new weakened legislature on December 17. Most political parties are boycotting the poll, saying the new parliament will have no power and faulting procedures the president has decreed, which include bringing the Electoral Commission under his purview. And in sports, Cameroon defeated a second-string Brazil team 1-0 in their final Group G match at the Lusail Stadium on Friday, but it was not enough as the African side were knocked out of the competition. Cameroon finished third on 4 points, 2 points below second-place Switzerland, who defeated Serbia 3-2. Brazil, who had already qualified, finished on top on goal difference with 6 points and will face South Korea in the last 16. Vincent Abubakar, who was the hero as he scored the only goal, also got sent off the field as he had earlier received a yellow card, got his match in order for removing his shirt. Following his dismissal, Abubakar is now the first player to score and be sent off in a World Cup match since Zinedine Zidane in the 2006 final versus Italy. And with that, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Hussaina Usman. Thanks for watching.